What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. I am Nicole. I'm a recovering addict and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. Today, you guys, I got some tea, some scalding hot tea, prison channel tea. So we're going to talk about the tea. But before we get into it, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. That way you will be made aware of every single time I go live. For those of you guys that are new here, I go live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next week is Recovery Week here on Real Talk Recovery, and that is 7 speakers, 7 days at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope you guys will come hang out with us every single night next week at 7 p.m. We will have a special guest speaker sharing how they have recovered from the disease of addiction. So, you guys have been asking me to talk about this, so here we go. We're going to talk about it. Joe from After Prison Show and Danny. So, the other day I was live and a bunch of you guys came in and you were like, did you see Danny's video? Did you see Danny's video? I was like, what are they talking about? So, of course, once I got off of that live stream, I went and checked and found the video. And I will link the video down below. It's on an account called Danny the Holy Beast. I'll link that video and I will link Joe's video. So for those of you guys that have no idea what I'm talking about, Joe Guerrero is After Prison Show. Danny was a guy that he had on his show that he made content with that had gotten out of prison that did 40 years. Joe met him and ended up making videos around his life and him re-entering society after doing 40 years in prison. So Joe had several videos. I think Joe said they probably made like 30 videos together of him sharing Danny's experience as ex-con that had done 40 years coming into the world and trying to get his life together, get a job, get a vehicle, get a apartment, all these things. And that's what Joe does on his channel, After Prison Show, is he helps guys that are coming out of prison and get back on their feet. And Danny was, I think, one of the first people that he helped to do that. So Joe ended up raising, I think, overall like $16,000 in GoFundMe donations for Danny. And Danny made a video saying that Joe didn't give him all the money. Basically saying that Joe pocketed $9,000 of this money. He also made allegations that he never even wanted to be on Joe's show and that he didn't even want to talk to Joe. And all of these things that Danny said, you know, he's saying that Joe is basically a liar and that he took advantage of him, okay? And so that's what Danny says in this video about how Joe took advantage of him. He took most of the money from the GoFundMe. He didn't give Danny the money. You know, just, it was really sad to watch because I remember when Joe made those videos with Danny and I saw how much Joe helped Danny. And it was just really sad to see how quickly Danny would turn on Joe. Well, Joe did not disappoint, you guys. He came with the receipts today. Not only did he have all the money that he sent to Danny from, I think it was PayPal. He had those receipts showing how much he paid out to Danny. Okay, he also had on video where he gave Danny $5,000 cash on video. He also had video of Danny threatening him and saying, you know, just basically talking to him crazy after all the help that Joe has given him, right? So what is my opinion on all this? What is my opinion? That's where I want to get to, because you guys can watch both of their videos and you can see what happens. And Joe has all the receipts proving that what Danny was saying was not true, you guys. And what is my opinion? My opinion is I feel like Danny got greedy. I feel like money is the root of all evil. And the moment that Danny saw how successful Joe's channel was becoming and how successful their videos that they did together were becoming, Danny wanted a piece of that, which I understand him wanting to be compensated, right? And I even think Joe understood that and was compensating him. The only thing is that Danny wanted it all. He got greedy and he got selfish, you know, and it ended up ruining their friendship. This is something that I see happen all the time with money and friends. Whenever you have friends and money comes into play, it always ruins the relationship, especially if somebody has the money and then another person doesn't, you know. And I feel like Danny felt like he was struggling so much, and here he sees Joe living a great life because, you know, he puts in a lot of hard work on his channel. Let's just be straight up. YouTube is a lot of work. Having people on your channel as guests is a lot of work. Interacting with people, it's not as easy as people think it is. And Joe spent a lot of time and money recording videos and doing episodes with Danny, put in his own, you know, hard-earned time and money and the equipment that he uses to record. So to me, from the outside looking in, damn, Danny, damn. I mean, it's got to be like that, you know, like so quickly you'll turn around and bite somebody that has helped you and supported you and basically given you an opportunity that you would have never had a chance to have any kind of money like that without Joe. If Joe hadn't have met Danny, Danny probably would have never even gotten his own place, his own apartment. He would have continued to struggle because the system is broken, and a lot of guys who come out of prison, especially guys who have done a lot of time like Danny, it is very hard for them to get into society and get their lives on track and re-enter. You know, it's like, it's just difficult, especially spending so many years in a row in prison, you know? So it really just goes to show you that, like, this is my suggestion to Joe, that he has to protect his assets and he has to be more careful with people that he's investing his time in on his channel, because this is how quickly these things can go sideways. When you're working with convicts and drug addicts and you're trying to help them better their lives, we also have to understand that how did they get there in the first place? Because they were doing crimes and using drugs and alcohol. So they're already a liability, right? And so when you are looking for people that you want to help and you want to put that time and effort into, you have to have certain things in place to protect yourself. And this goes back to my first two videos I made in reference to Joe and After Prison Show. It all goes back to Joe taking the time to protect his assets, taking the time to go the extra mile and make sure all his T's are crossed and all his I's are dotted, because, you know, he needs contracts in line. I don't know if he already has this. This is just me making suggestions. Contracts in line, you know, saying, hey, you know, this is what we're going to do. This is how much you get paid for this. This is what, so that way, if anything like this ever happens again, he won't have to worry, because he'll say, you signed this, you did this, blah, blah, blah. It's all legally binded. And that way, you know, somebody like Danny can't come back and try to bite him, you know. But it's such a disappointment to see, because I remember being so invested in Danny's story and really, really hoping that he was going to be a success, you know. And then to see him turn around and just kind of like treat Joe the way he's treating him now and trying to expose him, it's sad, man. But, you know, overall, Joe did the right thing by setting the record straight and showing the proof. Hey, look, I paid this guy. You know, he's just talking out of the side of his neck. And Danny, to you, this is what I have to say to you. You're better than this. You could have talked to this man one-on-one, but instead you want to go on social media and try to expose him, act like he did something to hurt you. You got so lucky to have that interaction with him and to get all that money that he raised for you. do you know that that was a once in a lifetime chance? A once in a lifetime chance. You know, it's really, really, really sad to see you acting like this. So that's my 2 cents on that, you guys. Another thing, another prison channel tea. Did you guys see Savage Studios hasn't uploaded it? Where's Savage Studios? So I've been kind of like trying to see what's going on. You know me, I don't say much in there. I just kind of lurk around and see what's going on. But I pay attention to these things. I pay attention to these things. So anyways, just my 2 cents. I feel really bad that, you know, Danny went out like this to try to expose Joe. And I do see that Joe just tried to help him. And really, it makes me sad because I hope I don't ever have to experience things like that, because I love helping people. But it just you have to protect yourself, because some people, they just don't have your best interest at heart.